Okay, we've got to talk about this. This is important. There's a whistleblower that is afraid to come forward to testify about a Mosul orb-like object he saw in Afghanistan, but the whistleblower protection isn't strong enough, and he's afraid of retaliation. So, what to do? Let's dive into this. This is Jack. Get in here. This is Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please like. Please subscribe, share on social media, and let me know what you think in the comments below. If I still seem a little out of it right now, it's because I am filming this back-to-back with my previous video, which I released on Saturday. This video is going to come out Sunday, but I am filming it on the same day, and Cinco de Mayo was still last night for me. So forgive me if I seem a little off, but it is what it is, but I couldn't resist this news story. UFO search. Retired Navy officer not going to jail to report what he saw in Afghanistan. A retired Navy officer said he saw a metallic orb in Afghanistan that's similar to the one shown in a video during last month's Senate hearing, but there's no secure way for him to come forward. I'm going to be honest with you, he says. I'd love to tell everything in detail, but I'm not willing to go to jail to do it, said a retired Navy senior chief whose name is being withheld for fear of repercussions. I'm constrained because of security agreements, so they need a way for submissions to be made, he told Fox News Digital. Not having a secure way to report potential UFOs was a glaring oversight in the eyes of two lawmakers on both sides of the aisle after All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office April 19th UFO hearing in front of the Senate Armed Services Subcommittee on Emerging Threats and Capabilities. And here we go. Here is the one and only good thing to come out of Sean Kirkpatrick, the lovely Sean Kirkpatrick's testimony. Oh, they're going to make me wait 30 seconds? Screw that. ARROW is an office within the U.S. Office of the Secretary of Defense that investigates UAPs, which is the government-created word for UFOs. Head of the agency, Dr. Lovely Sean Kirkpatrick, showed the second-long video clips seen above to lawmakers and said, "This is essentially all the data we have of this event. It's going to be virtually impossible to fully identify that just based off that video." So he considers it unresolved. Well, I mean, I guess so, right? The Navy, the retired, he gives them just enough to keep the office funded and going, right? He's sitting on a mountain of videos and other evidence, but he gives them one little weak video that's just barely enough to kind of whet their interest, right? The retired Navy officer said that he and other military service members saw a similar metallic orb from an airborne platform in Afghanistan in the early 2000s. Very interesting. And here we go. Here is the Mosul orb-like sphere released at the hearing. There's a bit of gray area here because the customer we were working for at the time retained all collected materials, the Navy officer told Fox News Digital. But I know where the bodies are buried, not necessarily where the digital data is, though. I can point them in the right direction. After, of course, it'll just go missing as soon as that happens, but yeah, you never know, right? After the April 19 Senate hearing, Senators Mark Warner and Marco Rubio wrote a 5-bullet point letter to the DoD, which was shared with Fox News Digital. Anyway, I'm not going to go through all that, but what the hell is going on over there at ARROW if they can't get their crap together enough to provide whistleblower protection for some guy to come forward to saying he saw something? I mean, that's just surface level stuff. That's not even the deep level stuff. I mean, that's just, I saw a UFO. Yeah, and it was in a war zone, but I saw a UFO. I mean, he's not talking about state secrets or anything juicy. He's not talking about going to another dimension or you know, the trippier things you get sometimes with UFO experiences. But he just saw a UFO and he can't report it. That's ridiculous. What the hell is going on? Now, I refer you to this video I shared last week, I believe, but let's go through it again. Let's listen to what Kirsten, because she addresses this. She does. So let's see what she has to say. Let's see what Kirsten Gillibrand.
As many people may not be aware, you spearheaded, I think it was like 33 pages of legislation on UAP in the 2023 National Defense Authorization Act. And I think one of the most important provisions that is in there, that you guys put in there, was this provision that protects whistleblowers against reprisals and retaliation. Now, sources have claimed to us that they still fear retaliation. Do these claims surprise you at all?
So yeah, so this guy would be, I don't know if he's one of these claims specifically that this host is referring to, but obviously a similar sort of thing going on. So let's hear what she has to say to address the very subject of this article.
No, and our office is here to assure them they cannot be retaliated against by law. And if they still fear retaliation, they should reach out to my office, because we can make sure that they get interviewed by Dr. Kirkpatrick. We can make sure that they can submit any of their data or information in a confidential way. We can do everything possible to make sure that they can be heard and protected at the same time.
As many people may not be aware.
Well, how can you protect them against Kirkpatrick? I mean, really, getting Kirkpatrick in charge of this is really getting the fox to guard the hen house. This is ridiculous. So the hens are going to come to the fox to report a problem? No, it's not going to go well. So in the anonymous subject of the article, who we don't know his name, but he is afraid to come forward for fear of actually being put in jail. And that's not a minor retaliation. That's a major retaliation. Now, maybe he's exaggerating, maybe he's overly paranoid, but maybe not. So we need to know exactly what is going on here. Are people protected? Can they come forward without winding up in jail? I mean, if you're testifying behind closed doors and nobody knows about it, I don't see how you could get in trouble in that way as far as like jail time. That seems like possibly his fear is unfounded. Now, as far as like if you saw something really juicy, and you wanted to report it, well, you might be risking more than jail time, if you know what I mean. So, at least as long as the powers that be that have been keeping this thing secret below these many years are still running the show, and that does seem to be who's running Arrow. I don't see how you could, be reasonably protected for coming forward with any juicy stuff. And nobody with any really juicy stuff, I'm talking like government involvement, would be willing to come forward, unless you're like on the periphery. If you're just, involved in some crash retrievals or something like that, I can see those people potentially coming forward, especially on the periphery of that organization or that effort. So yeah, I do see the potential for some whistleblowers to come forward, and some people have already come forward, like Robert Salas and others. But apparently the protections that are in place are not very robust. So they need more robust protections, and we need somebody that's not a fox guarding the hen house. So with all due respect to Kirsten Gillibrand, I'm not reassured by her words here, nor am I reassured by the tenor of the questions that she was asking the lovely Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick at the hearing. She did not ask him any serious questions. She asked him like basically what the numbers were, how many cases there were, and that sort of thing. So she didn't ask him about whistleblowers that had come forward and the nature of their testimony, what that might imply. Robert Salas's case, of course, UFOs shutting off nukes. And I'm going to have an upcoming video specifically about that, because there's a new case that has come to my attention. Really, really interesting. Really interesting. So anyway, that's it for today. But let me know what you think about whistleblower protection. Is the fellow in the article overly paranoid? Do you think he could actually wind up in jail for reporting this? Or indeed, is he correct to be that afraid? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have a great day. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. That would be super awesome. Smash the subscribe button and be notified of future videos. And join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. I would love to see you guys there. And of course, check out some of my other videos. Until next time, this is Jack with Cosmic Road signing out.